one. Oh. Yeah, let's not talk.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Motormouth Broadcasting, and welcome into the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship, brought to you by the Roasted Record. We're in tonight for Season 4, Round 7, live from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, as we go racing on the man-made island here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, home of course, the Canadian Grand Prix, and named after one of the most well-known Formula One drivers from the land of Canada that's ever existed in Gilles Villeneuve, arguably a much better driver than what his son became in Jacques Villeneuve. But regardless, I'm Hamish Munro. I'm joined by Jim Cunningham once again, as always. And Jim, we come into a track that can be quite divisive. It's one of my personal favourites. This track is within my top 5 favourite circuits in the world, and I think it has good reason to be. It's incredibly challenging, it's fast-paced, but when you can put a lap together around here, you feel on top of the world, and it's one that will reward you with patience, but also it'll reward you for being smooth, clean, and consistent as well. And, well, being that this track is so tight, so fast, we could be in for a lot of incidents tonight. So those key words of patience and calm, cool, collected, and smooth and consistent, well, they could be the keys to victory here this evening at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah, well, it's good to be here with you. It's north of the border, so to speak. You know, this is not one of my favorite circuits. I don't really dislike it, but I would not say it's one of my favorites. I do get around here pretty decent, though. I do find that what you said is true, though. The incidents can rack up here pretty quick. And based on the size field that we have and, you know, the history of some of the driving standards that we've seen recently, I would say that there's a good chance that there will be a lot of incidents tonight.
I think there definitely could be. I think that based on what we've seen this season from drivers, we could be in for, you know, a chance that drivers are going to be possibly caught up in some things. I mean, it's a tight, tough circuit. It's one where, you know, drivers are going to have to be on their A game tonight, because ultimately it's a track that is super tight. There's a lot of fast-paced sections around here, but there's also a lot of heavy braking zones.
Yes.
That can give a lot of almost a false sense of opportunity, or a false sense of confidence, if you will, where drivers may think they can make a move, but they're not quite in the right position to just yet, whether that's because the tires aren't up to temp, or the car's not up to temp, or whatever it may be. It will reward you for being patient, but it will also reward you for being a pressure player in the game, in terms of, I'm going to apply pressure consistently to the car in front of me, and 9 times out of 10 they're inevitably going to make a mistake, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to end up in the barriers of some kind. I mean, it's a circuit that is surrounded by barriers. It's basically a street circuit, Jim, but they've just turned it into a permanent race course. I mean, they man-made an island for this circuit, but it is made up like a street circuit.
It's an island, like in the middle of a river, right?
Well, yeah. Well, it's off the side of Montreal, and it's kind of been built similar to how the island that hosted Belle Isle was made. It was made to be a park, and they turned it into a racing course, into a street course. So, for this circuit, it's one in which it's built onto an island directly off the coast of Montreal, and it's one where, you know, hundreds of thousands of people sweep to every year for the Montreal Grand Prix. They run multiple different car types here across that weekend, including Porsche Cup car racing as well. So there is some sports car racing action that comes around here as the warm-up session's about to begin, and cars are just heading out on track. At this stage.
Oh my God! Did you see him get that car sideways right there?
He got it real sideways right there, and I know that Cole did participate in the Bathurst 12-hour this past weekend alongside John Voight and Aidan Kiley. I actually sat in with them for quite a few hours before I inevitably went to bed, because they changed the time slot they were doing. They actually did the European time slot, Jim, for their attempt at the 12-hour.
How'd they end up coming out?
Well, so they started last because they had a problem signing up for the session, and then they couldn't qualify. And when I left them, they'd made it up to 4th place.
Oh.
Which this was a good, I think, 4 or 5 stints into the race. So they were about 5 hours in. I left them at about, race started at 11 p.m. Australian time. I left them at about 4 a.m. and they were up to 4th place.
Oh,
I'm unsure how they finished. I did not get a chance to ask them. But you know what, though? Since we're in the warm-up, why don't we just drag Colin and ask him how they went?
Yeah, we could do that. We're going to have to
Yeah.
do it quick and then hit points. But yeah, drag him in real quick.
Well, we're going to do it this quickly. Hello, Cole. Welcome in, good sir.
Hello.
I just wanted to quickly ask you, because we were talking about your Bathurst 12-hour attempt and the fact that I left you guys in 4th place on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
We just wanted to quickly ask you what your finishing position was in that race.
I believe we finished in 13th position.
Not so bad.
No, coming from
Not at
last
all.
place, that's
Very happy
a
with
good
that.
run.
Absolutely. At one point, we were up in P2.
Oh,
Honestly, I shouldn't have left. This is
Your
why I
bad
finished
luck.
13.
are you
Yeah, I
leaving?
left.
Are you were
Shouldn't have
good
left.
luck and then leaving?
I was
bad
good luck, and then I
Yes.
left, and then it's bad luck. So
Yes.
that's my fault, obviously.
All right.
Well,
Well,
Carl, we just wanted to
Yep.
confirm that. We wanted to wish you the best of luck. Obviously, Gilles Villeneuve is going to be a tough circuit, but you probably need to bring a lot of the things you learned at the 12-hour into this track tonight. So we wish you the best of luck in going 7 wins in a row now at this point of the season. So we wish you luck, good sir.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you so much.
all right. Let's get a quick look at points here while we've got a couple of minutes. We'll just kind of
let's have a look at the points. So, of course, for our GT3 Pro standings, Ricardo Delgado, well, if he beats Derek Fulker on the road tonight, he will extend his championship lead to over 100 points. Justin Bock, P3 at this stage as well, is over 160 points behind Ricardo Delgado at this stage of the championship. Scott Petrone, with the Devil's number at the moment, 666, sits in 4th place. Nathan Biggett, P5 in the championship on 555 points. Oh, that tickled my brain, Jim. Guilherme Oliveira in P6 at this stage. Daniel Schmoll, Michael Anderson, Chad Gross, and Francis Crosby make up the top 10 for the pro standings at this stage of the season. To the Pro-Am title race, though, we run. And we'll find ourselves with Michael Caffrey, who is over 100 and... what would that be? That'd be 128 points ahead of Harrison Holiday in P2, with Zach Houston and Kurt Basler making up our top 4.
You do
Justin
the
Welsh
maths
inside of
real
the top
good.
5. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
David Steiner in P6, with Jason Holland, Ty Baxter, Lance Campbell, and Stephen Smith for our top 10 at this stage of the season. To the GT3 AMs, well, it's the Jed Cotterman show. He sits adrift 93 points ahead of Jacob Cotterman.
Oh,
Not for long. Well, he won't be an AM for long. Let's be real. He's going to be moving up at the end of this season, regardless of his finishing position.
yes.
Jacob Cotterman, 93 points behind him in P2, with James Leneven 1 point adrift of him, with Chet Miller and John Swan making up our top 5 ahead of Greg Lawrence, Brandon Herzing, Mark Ogier, David Vulper, and Jody Nelson for the top 10 of the AM title race at this point in the season. To the GT4s, well, it's the Cole Malley show. 139 points is the difference between himself and Matt Lass coming into tonight's
He's
race.
literally on a perfect season right now, isn't he?
He is on a perfect
Is
season.
he?
He's on he is.
No.
He is on a perfect
Oh,
season.
yes.
150 points at every single point this season has put him on his 900 point total. So again, if he outscores Matt Lass tonight by 20 points, he will lead the championship by a full race win.
Wait a minute.
Heading
So
into
if
the
he
final
wins,
few rounds.
if he wins out the rest of the season, which is a lot of races left, so he's halfway through on a perfect season.
He'd win by Road Atlanta. He would win by Road Atlanta.
Well, the whole perfect season thing is what's got me caught there.
I know he's invincible. He's invincible at this stage.
That's crazy.
Tim Schaefer
I
and Corey Patton in behind him at this point in time as well. So, but yeah,
I don't know about
it is the
invincible,
Cole Malley
but
show.
we shall see. All right, sorry about rushing through those for anybody that we kind of breezed over your name, but we diverted there to find out how the Bathurst race went. So that took a little bit of time there. So sorry about that. Unfortunately, no track map tonight. I was unable to get my hands on the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve track map. Hopefully, we will have it Friday for the Bite Point Racing one. But let's go ahead and get this grid going because it's a big one. And I got a surprise for you, Hamish. You ready?
Sure.
Here we go. Well, let's do this first. Get to there, and then we'll go.
Let's get to there. Oh, fantastic, Jim. You are an absolute Absolute king of kings.
Yes.
Did you set this to be car logo, or did you set the images as their backgrounds?
No, it's set to car logo. It has a button.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it has a button. So
Oh,
it was. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. The creator of the plugin did it, but
that is fantastic. I need
yeah.
to find out how much this plugin is because I need it in my life. Ricardo Delgado starts pole position ahead of Lance Campbell in P2. As you look back to the second row of the grid, we'll find Derek Fulker and Zach Houston for our top 4 positions. As we then find Stephen Smith and Rodrigo Daci won, of course, last time out for the Pro-Am class at his home race in Brazil at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. He'll start P6 here tonight on the third row of the grid. As we look further back to Justin Bock and Daniel Schmoll then for the top 8 cars. And to make up our top 10, we get to Michael Caffrey and Michael Anderson. It's an all-Michael top 10, all 5th row of the grid. Nathan Biggle will start alongside David Steiner then for our top 12 as we look further back towards the 7th row of the grid with James Leneven and Jack Anderson, the all Mustang 7th row, with Kyle Smith and Francis Crosby making up our 8th row of the grid. It's an all Merc 8th row. Oh, what's going to be an all 9th row? Well, it's not all. It's Harrison Holiday and Jed Cotterman making up our top 18 positions here tonight after qualifying. To the 10th row, it's Lorenzo Araujo with Brennan Herzing making up the top 20 cars on the grid, with James MacArthur and Guilherme Oliveira for the top 22. To John Swan and Jacob Cotterman, they'll start ahead of 13th row getters in Ty Baxter and Justin Cornett for the all Porsche 13th row of the grid. Weston Adams, David Vulpel then make up the top 28 cars towards P29, and Jason Holland and Scott Petrone for the top 30, with P31 going the way of Chet Miller ahead of Mark Ogier for the 16th row of the grid. As we'll then find Cole Malley and John Voigt on the front row for the GT4 cars this evening. Quickly back to Tim Schaefer and Kyle Dersham in behind them as well, but they're about to head up to the start grid with Matt Lass and Michael Smith behind them. The race leaders are getting ready to go green here for Ricardo Delgado and co, as they've all set themselves up. The GT4s are about to get underway too, further back in the field. It's, for whatever reason, classified them ahead of the GT3 cars when they are not. So we'll get our start grid off the grid, and everyone's gone racing at the front end of the field with the GT3 cars leading us up towards the second chicane. GT4s are underway. And for the GT3 cars, well, there's been an incident further back as Jack Anderson's already gone around, and I believe he's had to tow back to pit lane already. So it's all starting here already off the start line, and there's been a massive incident already, it seems. We'll implore to find out what's actually happened to Jack down here at turn 2. Oh, he's just lost the rears. He's lost the rears.
On his
held
own?
his brake. Yeah, on his own, and he realised that he's in a very poor position, so he tows back to pit lane, gets out of everyone's way, does the right thing to do so as well. Oliver Brooks has gone off as well down at the second chicane, so that GT4 car's off the road down there, but for Ricardo Delgado, he leads the way at this point in time.
All right, let's flip-flop here. This is just, it's got all kinds of weird going on right now.
As well that James Leneven leads for the AM class at this point in time too. Rodrigo Daci has gone off at the hairpin and the entry to the first of the 2 straights here tonight, and that Merc is having to do a 10-point turn to get it spun around, but he's going to go straight to the back of the field. The timing will reset, by the way, by the time that we get to the start-finish line and everyone finishes out their laps, because for whatever reason the timing's decided to have an absolute slip
I don't
on us.
even know what's going on. Look at Fulker making a move here on regard. Oh my goodness, look at this. Wow. Delgado kind of squeezed him to the outside a little bit there, but he gave him enough room, but he didn't leave him anything extra, that's for sure.
And we know that the details will be fixed up momentarily as the timing gets reset and cars begin to cross the start-finish line. Here tonight, Jack Anderson is now finally back out on circuit. He's not in P6, as the data is telling us. That will, again, it will reset once they've, once the internals of it all has fixed itself up here, Jim. But for whatever reason, we're on weird timing mode right now.
Oh. Yeah, what is going on? I don't have any idea what's happening there. Let me just try to refresh the whole overlay, maybe. Let's see if that helps.
Now, mine has decided to be an absolute pest as well. So
yeah, this is obviously an iRacing issue.
Yeah, this is an iRacing timing issue, it seems. So the timing hopefully will reset itself at some point. and we'll be able to give you proper timing to everyone out there watching along with us here tonight. We welcome you all in and appreciate you guys joining us here this evening once again as well for the Full Throttle Nation GT Challenge, Ultimate GT Championship, of course, brought to you by the Roasted Record, based out in Florida. Get yourself a tune and a brew. You can use code SIM20 at checkout online as Justin Bock goes round at the wall of champions. And his car's starting to come past him here.
Oh, that's a
very lucky.
Spot.
He was only collected by one car on the way through, but he's being very patient and awaiting every car to come past him as he drops that car down the order. Very weird here that it is classifying some of those GT4s in P1. I'm unsure why.
I have no.
Hopefully it'll reset. I suppose it'll reset itself by the time the GT3s come past them and they lap the
Cotterman
GT4
just took
car.
a shot from behind.
Oh my god!
Who was that behind him?
Was that from a ghosted car?
I don't think so.
Was he hit from a car that was not there? Because he's got Jacob behind him, and I don't think Jacob would want to be running up the rear.
No, it was a Mustang that hit him. He did get hit by a ghost. Did he really? All right,
I think he's been hit by a ghost.
I'm going to do
There's
something.
a car that is blinking back there. Okay, timing's finally resetting itself now, so this is good. Okay, so the timing is finally resetting.
Okay, there's the car that hits him right there. See it? That Mustang with the psychedelic looking hood. Watch, boom.
It hits him.
And he follows him through though. So who is he?
Okay, so he doesn't actually disappear. So I think that might be it's James Lenneven.
Okay,
it's James Lenneven that's hit him.
What a hot mess this is. So all right, let me go back out and replay.
When we head back to live, the timing has finally reset itself and it is corrected order now. So that's good.
That was a hot mess.
It was indeed. So Cole Malley leads the way for the GT4 class, leading the GT3 AMs, it is Jed Cotterman. Leading the Pro-Ams, it's Lance Campbell. Leading the Pros, it is now Derek Fulker, who's made contact down there as Ricardo Delgado has come past at turn one. Something's happened between them, Jim. It's heating up at the front end.
Who is that behind him? Is that Houston? No. Yeah.
He's at Houston, so this is what happens. So Fulker goes up the inside at turn one.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And then Delgado's still alongside him. Contact's made, and around goes Fulker.
Well, I have to say,
rejoin. He comes straight out right in front of Daniel Schmoll, and I don't think Schmoll will be happy with that. He wasn't. He was blinking the lights at him.
Well, I have to say, you're gonna Fulker. You could almost see that coming. Literally, like I said earlier on that first lap, Fulker tried to make a move on him, and Delgado squeezed him out. Like I said, he didn't run him off the track, but he didn't give him any extra room for sure. And then they end up coming together there. I'd like to actually take one more look at that if you could pull that up.
I can bring it back up again. So let's get a better view of it for everyone out there. So here we go. So he comes down the inside at turn one.
So he's clean
now,
right there.
Does Delgado maintain overlap? Delgado's maintaining overlap. So he's still got overlap there. And Fulker just hasn't given him any space.
That's true.
Where's he going to go? Is he going to go on the grass?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's right.
It's fine to aim for the apex, but he's still got overlap technically. He doesn't lose overlap.
Yeah, and that could be one of them situations where if a guy's running like a lame, software like, I'm not going to mention any names, but, crew chief, but, and it told you you're clear and he cuts down and thinks he's clear, that can happen. We've all seen that happen. We'll talk about that later, but I don't know. I mean, I agree with you 100%. He turned across the nose of Delgado for sure. And, he may not realize that now, especially if he thought he was clear until he gets a chance to look at it.
So I think the main issue would be so if Fulker completely clears Delgado, right, and he drops the overlap, right, so there's no overlap before he turns in, but then he turns in and Delgado comes up alongside him again. He actually hasn't gained overlap again until he is until the front of his lip of his car is alongside the front of the rear wheel.
Right.
On Fulker's car.
But he never lost overlap.
He never loses overlap. He's still maintaining it.
Yeah, he never cleared him. That's the thing. He
never clears him.
No.
So if there was, say, a race control out there that would review that, they would review it as, well, technically it's Fulker's incident. It's his fault. He hasn't lost overlap. So it would be a racing incident because it'd be self-penalising on Derek Fulcar.
Well, that
so
was a nice move down on that bottom screen down there.
Yeah, it was a good move from Justin Cornette.
Was that
He's currently got a slowdown though, so he's got to try and serve this slowdown. He must have, but he's on the racing line trying to serve this slowdown. He's just served it now. It's one of those other things of, what is fair and true. Now, that this also comes down to whatever's in your rule set as well, but for Cornette, in my opinion, if you've got a slowdown, you don't serve it on the racing line, but he managed to serve it fairly quickly, so it was okay. But yeah, I'm one of those believers, Jim, that if you get a slowdown, you don't serve it on the racing line. That's just being a little bit petty and actually being a hindrance to your other competitors out there. But he's okay, though. He served it well before everyone was up to speed. It's a high-speed section. They can move around him. I don't see any problem with it. He wasn't holding anyone up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of come from a different school of thought on that, I guess. If you can stay on the racing line, who is that? That isn't.
I think if you don't hold anybody up and you can serve it on the racing line, that's fine. Like again, he was on a straight, fast-paced section. They can go around him fairly quickly, not too bad. But like say through the S's here, I wouldn't want to be serving it on the racing line. That's where it can get a little bit hairy.
I don't know. See, I'm the opposite of that. I would say that if you can pull it off without Jason Holland decided to take a shortcut there, that's going to cost him a little bit.
Yeah, it's cost him some time, crucially in this race.
That chicane there, big time.
Last lap by the way, Ricardo Delgado, fastest lap of the race, 134.28 as he comes up to the strike once again, and they finally caught the GT4s. So now the lapping of the slower class of car is coming for the race leader as Delgado comes past another 134, by the way, that lap, 34.63. But Houston was faster than him that lap, 134.58. Hasn't counted as a faster lap for himself, though, because he's copped an off-track somewhere. So that's the important detail to remember for those who may be following along on the fastest lap counters on the side. It doesn't count as a driver's personal best lap or fastest lap of the session if they've gotten a 1x or a 4x or a 2x across the lap. Even a 0x won't count you the time because it counts as an incident. So it means that the lap is considered dirty and it does not count the lap time towards you. So you could be on an absolute blinder. Say you're on for a 133 and you get a 0x somewhere.
We got somebody around there.
Anymore. Is that there?
That's Guillermo, I think.
Guillermo Oliveira has gone around. He's towed back to pit lane now.
Oh, that was a smart move. Drivers
are dropping, though, further and further back.
Yeah, we're starting to heat up a little bit up here at the front. Is Zach Houston's flashing the hell out of somebody. Oh, it's probably a GT4 car.
Right as well with Lorenzo Araujo onto the bottom screen as well. He's had some struggles the last few weeks.
Indeed.
And just trying to get better and better, it seems. What's the word I'm trying to think of here? My thoughts for Lorenzo is if he wants to try and get better, drop the Red Bull livery. That's what I would say. That's my recommendation.
Well, I have to say, you're not lying, man. I have yet to see anybody that runs the Red Bull livery on the regular that's not can be a bit of a nuisance sometimes. And that's being nice, to be honest. I don't know. Every time I see somebody in a Red Bull livery, I stay far away from them.
Well, I mean, sometimes the memes write themselves.
Oh yeah, they do write themselves. Yeah. So I'm going to point out that I just spotted Ty Baxter's livery. Apparently, Hamish noticed it last week. He said, I did not, but this Porsche livery with the mirrors and the wings and the wheels and the Kraken. Yes.
Oh, look at that. The eyes of the Kraken have got that teal color in them as well.
It.
That looks sick.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
This livery is, so good. I love that. Love that livery.
That is a peak livery. That is fantastic. Justin Cornette as well with another slowdown too. So he's continuing here to just track extend every now and again. So he needs to be cautious, of course, Jim. They get, I believe it is 17 X's before they receive a drive-through. So he needs to be cautious of this fact now. And I believe they get 35 before they're disqualified.
That many?
So I think so.
Wow,
I believe
like
so.
A lot.
Well, that would be 2 chances of 17.
Yeah, but usually it's 17 and then 25 usually gets you booted.
Well, it might do. I know that Well, in my league in particular, Jim, we don't do disqualification for incident points. We just stack penalties. I think it's 20, and then you get a drive through, and then every, I believe, 10 after you get another drive through. So
that's Fulker getting all aggressive on Campbell now.
Oh, he's getting real aggressive, and we know that Schmall wasn't.
Now he's around.
He's turned him as well. He's turned Lance Campbell.
Oh, you can just see, and Lance had to tow, man. Come on, really? All right, let me look at it first. I was watching Lance because
I've got it up. I've got it up.
Because he was a Canadian, and I was thinking he might have a good
run. So Fulker's got overlap.
Yeah, but he drove right over him.
He's just drilled him.
Oh,
and then Matt Last's been caught up in that as well with Michael Caffery. Seriously?
Yeah,
so Fulker first.
One more time.
Fulker first knocks himself out because Delgado maintains overlap earlier in the race, and then he rejoins right in front of Daniel Schmall.
Right.
And then now he just drives straight through and drills Lance Campbell down in the second chicane. I mean, seriously. I mean, if we couldn't try and I think if there's one thing, Jim, that we could recommend to Jed going into next season is, and I hope there is someone out there that can help him with this. We need race control.
Yeah.
We seriously need race control because that would clean up some of the driving that we're seeing from some of these drivers.
Yeah, no, I mean he should absolutely receive drive-through.
He'd get a drive-through for that. Yeah. He would get a drive-through for that in any league out there that runs race
for that
control.
one for sure. I mean that was.
Oh yeah, the other one was self-penalizing.
I'm gonna go back and I want to see that again. Where is? So I want to do this, and I want to look at it from the chopper if I can. If this tree line's going to let me do it.
It might do. We'll see. I don't think it is.
No,
do you have dynamic TV, Jim?
Yeah,
dynamic TV may let you do it. That might be alongside them.
Let's try that and see.
No, that's going to be even worse.
Yeah, no.
TV1 was the one that I had it on before, Jim. That showed it. Oh, here we go. This might actually show us. There we go. He just drills him.
I mean,
it's not even a case of Lance.
Look, I'm not trying to.
Lance was going to hit the apex.
I'm not trying to ride his ass. You know, Fulker. I was pulling for him last. You know, I mean, it's nothing against him, but that was just atrocious, man. You know, I think
to
he's
his
pissed.
Driving that we've seen
I think
before.
he's pissed because of what happened with Delgado, and I think he's aggressively driving.
I think his helmet is full of the red mist right now. I genuinely think his helmet is full of the red mist.
He is full of the red mist. It took me a second on that one, you know.
Yeah.
I had to process that one for about 5 seconds there before I got it. But yes, it is full of the red mist. I tell you what, mark my words. That you got somebody off down there.
Someone down there. That there is James Leneven, who's off the road again. So he's been in the struggles tonight.
Well, I tell you what, man, he literally was up there with Jed and hit Jed earlier, and now look where he's at. I mean, he is really struggling. He went straight backwards.
Lance Campbell as well.
Well,
has just exited pit lane.
That's so.
One little thing that we needed to look out for tonight is when one of those Ford Mustang GT4s come into pit lane. Have you seen what they do when they have the pit limiter turned on?
No.
The rear tail lights flash as a gradient. So they'll go from inside to outside and they'll flash when the pit
well, the real car does that.
Yeah, it looks sweet. We use it as a safety car.
That's cool.
In our league. And so at the tracks where we have 80 kilometer an hour pit lane speed limits, we just run the pit limiter on the safety car. So then we can have the nice flashing lights on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Doesn't really work when there's a 40 kilometer an hour pit speed limit. Thank you, Tail and Bend, for having a long and really slow pit lane. But yeah, circuits that have 80 kilometer. Normally it's the Grand Prix circuits that have 80 kilometer an hour pit speed limit. So like this circuit would probably have it. Coda had it last week, so it's normally the Grand Prix circuits that have them. But yeah, it's a cool little detail that they added into the car when they put it into iRacing, which I thought was really cool. And one thing that I'm excited for, Jim, because I've been trying to wrap my head around what we might see next season,
right?
In terms of iRacing updates. Now we know we're getting St. Petersburg.
Yes, that's
we know
that is almost 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. They've 90% confirmed that we're getting St. Petersburg. We know that Kyle Army is coming in at one point. We know that.
Yeah,
I think
Kyle Army could be a while, but it is coming for sure.
Yeah. We know that Circuit Paul Ricard and Bahrain are coming in this year as well. I have a feeling that Circuit Paul Ricard may be within the next update with St. Petersburg, but I'm not too sure.
I have not heard or
SMP
seen anything that would indicate that yet.
But I've been trying to wrap my head around what cars have they scanned that we know they've scanned that are coming. And the only one that I can think of, the only two that I can now think of, now that you've reminded me, the only three, because you've just reminded me with the Valkyrie and you've reminded me with another one by saying that. The only three that I know of that they've scanned is the Valkyrie, the Lambo GTP car, and the Lexus GT3 car.
Right. Unfortunately, the Lambo GTP car is dead.
It is. It's not happening.
Yeah.
All three would make sense to come out with St. Petersburg.
Yes,
so
the
maybe
Valkyrie especially.
Maybe they're going to give us the Valkyrie and the Lexus as the two cars that come out with it.
Yeah, I can see that
because I can't think of any other cars that they've scanned, unless they've scanned the new LMP2 car. The it starts with O. Is it the Oracle or the Okura or whatever it is? It's like Okura or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, it's in Le Mans Ultimate. They've got the two.
Yeah, the Orica.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, the Orica. Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder. I think the Lambo. I don't think we'll ever see the Lambo. To be honest with you.
We may see it in iRacing.
Why though? It's
and that may be the only place where we get it.
They already. It's a car. The Lambo's done pulled the whole. I mean, they don't even race anymore. The factory has pulled all their Lambo. They're not racing anything.
They scanned it, so
yeah,
we may still see it.
You think they would do that?
Maybe. They've done it before. I mean, they created a Dallara Formula One car that never existed.
Well, that's different. That's creating a whole car. You know, that's not the same thing as putting out a car that used to exist but doesn't race anymore.
Yeah, but the point being,
well, I mean, it would probably sell though, just because it's a Lamborghini. But.
Yeah, the point being that I'm making is if you're bringing out St. Pete and you're bringing out Circuit Paul Ricard, the only cars that make sense is the Lexus and the Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie, yeah,
the Valkyrie races both.
Yes.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't, because IMSA don't go to St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg's on the same weekend as Sebring, and that's where the Pilot Challenge goes. Oh. But
but still,
the Valkyrie races.
The Valkyrie's going to sell like crazy too.
Yeah, and St. Pete is as a part of the IMSA deal. So,
right,
both cars participate in IMSA. And the Valkyrie runs at Circuit Paul Ricard. So it would make sense for both tracks to come out alongside the Valkyrie and the Lexus.
Well, the Lexus runs in WEC as well.
Does it also run in WEC? Oh, well, there you go.
It's on Le Mans Ultimate.
They don't have a WEC deal. That's the difference, though. They don't have a WEC deal. They only have an IMSA deal. So.
No, but the point being that the Circuit Paul Ricard is a place where you would see.
That's right.
Because WEC runs at Paul Ricard, so you would see the Lexus at Paul Ricard.
Formula One don't even run there anymore. The only major World Series that runs at Paul Ricard now is WEC, except for maybe like European Le Mans Series and stuff like that. True. But still,
European Le Mans probably does run there.
They're the only combinations I can think of because we're not in a new era of IndyCar yet. We have the most modern IndyCar on the sim. So yeah, they're the only combinations I can think of that would go with St. Petersburg. I think in future when the Toyota supercar comes out, that's when you're going to see Pukekohe, and that's when you're going to see Sydney Motorsport Park, because they'll match it with an Australian circuit, and then obviously Pukekohe, which we've been waiting for. So that's what I see happening, Jim. That's the future updates I see happening for iRacing. There are tracks that I want that I don't even know if they've scanned, but
yeah, well,
St. Pete and Paul Ricard are the only ones I know that would be done by that point.
I mean, we know St. Pete's coming, and
St. Pete's coming.
I mean, that's 100%. There's already leagues that have St. Pete on their schedule,
which I'm very excited for. Is just quickly, James Leneven, he is trying to make rounds past David Vulper, but he's just been cut off through the past the wall of champions. So they're starting to heat up down here amongst this field that I've got an eye on at this stage. We are 22 3/4 minutes into this race, so we're just about up to pit stop time for these drivers. We know the fuel save's been massive here tonight as well. And how has the BOP changed the field, Jim? Because we spoke about it last week, how it was going to affect the field.
Well,
how might it affect them here tonight for Circuit Gilles Villeneuve? Well, what we're seeing is we're obviously seeing the Corvette's still very strong.
Yeah.
The Porsche is looking strong, as is the BMW, which we knew was going to be because it's made to be comfortable at Bathurst. The one thing I found was, though, the McLaren, as slow as it was, actually seems to be one of the more comfortable cars, even though it is slow. So, for safest out there...
And the Acura, which we do see Stephen Smith up there in an Acura, and I think we would have saw Justin up there as well, but he had that early incident.
Yes.
The Acura was I think surprised a lot of people at Bathurst, and they said it was incredibly stable over the top of the mountain. So, yeah. So I think that the rich got richer here with a couple of these cars. Like you said, the Corvette has really, ever since the tire model changed and they got that squared away, that car has been coming on. But again, it is setup driven, and it takes a certain skill set to drive that car fast. And boy, they're scuffing that wall there. Golly. You know what? I do like this track. I like this track more than I thought.
By the way, first pit stops coming in. Rodrigo Daci and David Vulper are now into pit road for their first stop in this race.
I wish would happen. I still think we're a couple of minutes early, man.
One detail I wish would happen, Jim, at this track is where they have to have pit stops where it's not near the pit wall or the actual pit building. They need to have those little tents that they have for NASCAR.
Yes. Well, they have them like where do you see them at? Like, for example, VIR has them.
Long Beach. We get them at Long Beach.
Long Beach has them. VIR has them.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. They should throw that detail in.
We should be seeing them here, but we have got, Jim, 5 rounds to go after tonight. Of course, we're going 12 rounds this season. We've got some fantastic tracks on offer as well.
Yes.
Coming up for the rest of the season too, of course. Watkins Glen next week, I'm very excited for.
Always good.
It's one of my preferred circuits to go racing at. Yes. It's a great circuit. VIR, which neither of us like driving, but it somehow brings good racing.
Yeah, I've kind of warmed up a little bit to VIR, but... it's tough, man. And I just don't think that it is really built for big cars. But it does.
It's a big track.
but I mean, it's not wide, though. Especially through a good portion of that track, it's not very wide. But I will say this. I broadcast numerous GT3 races from there over the past several months. And I have to say that they've been pretty good racing, so.
And that's what annoys me. I think my biggest issue with VIR is it doesn't have.
You don't want to like it, but.
Well, no. It doesn't have this big racetrack feel about it, right? It feels like a local circuit, ultimately, because it's surrounded by trees, surrounded by grass. I guess so. Yeah. And it looks like it's been built on someone's paddock in someone's farm. And it doesn't feel like
it's almost like a
World
golf course.
Series.
It's almost like a golf course racetrack.
It doesn't. And even then, Jim, it feels like a local Sunday tournament golf course. It doesn't feel like a Live or PGA Tour style of golf course either. It's one in which you look like you could go there on a Sunday, have a gentleman's tournament, and then you can go home and have a beer. Like it doesn't remind me of big fight feel race circuits. And I don't know if that's just because of the setting that it's in. I think ultimately what would actually make it feel better is if they put in more grandstands.
This might
be a grandstands around the track. It very well may be. We're 27 and a half minutes. It's going to be close, ultimately. The fuel
for the
stretch is going to
guys
be very
that pitted
close.
already, now these that are pitting now, maybe...
For the guys that pitted already, no. But these guys here, they could fuel save their way home. We
Yes.
know that the Porsche's good on fuel. We know the Acura's good on fuel. And the Merc's gotten a buff as well on this fuel count as well.
This
the
top five,
the important one...
Okay.
The important one is the Mustangs that are coming into pit lane now.
Well,
they're the ones that...
Right.
We know they're fuel guzzlers. Can they make it an extra 3 minutes or an extra 2 minutes, really? By the time they're out of pit lane, it's only going to be 60 seconds.
They did get a bump on their fuel, too, though.
They did, but
I don't know if
they're fuel guzzlers. So, yeah, that's kind of the difficult
Did you pay attention to that at Bathurst?
No, I didn't, Jim. I'll be honest with you. It was so scrambled watching that race where everyone was. There was people crashing everywhere that it was kind of hard to tell what the fuel strategy was for some cars.
That's shocking.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, to the point of, back to VAR quickly as people are coming into pit lane. The thing that would make VAR better, Jim, in terms of its setting, is if they added grandstands.
Ooh.
That would make it so much better.
Dude, he almost
race leaders into pit lane. Delgado comes in, as well as Fulcott, Schmall, Bigot, and Caffrey. They're all into pit lane. We watch for Patron, see if he comes in as well. Now, he is a fair bit back, so he is out of sync at this stage of the race here tonight as well. As well as the other tracks we've got coming up this season too. We've still got Road Atlanta to come, Daytona and Sebring. Could you ask for a better trio to end out the season, Jim?
No, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. I mean, overall, this America's tour has been a lot of fun.
I look forward to the European tour,
Yeah.
which I would assume is next season. The Australian tour, if we ever do an Australian and Japan tour, Jim, that could be an all-time season.
Well, for you, yeah.
And I think ultimately you wait until Bahrain comes out to do Asia and Australia, because then you can put Bahrain onto that calendar. Because the circuits that we can run with these cars, now, there are some of them which won't suit them all that well, i.e. Oran Park. No, Phillip Island would suit them. Oran Park and Winton would not suit these cars all that well.
Oh, no, Winton would suck.
Sandown would be great, but Sandown is very, very small. So you'd make it a 90-minute race at Sandown, and you're guaranteed to get cars going a lap down, and it is a survival race. Ultimately, the three best tracks in Australia that we currently have that would suit these cars is Phillip Island, The Bend, and Bathurst. They are the three best tracks that would suit them. Then you get the same problem when you go to Japan. Tsukuba is too small.
Way too small.
But you can't race there.
No,
way too small. It's not even a case of like with Sandown where you get great racing with GT cars there. It's way too small and too tight.
No, you got Motegi, which is good.
You've got Motegi, which is good, Okayama, which is good, and the two best choices, Fuji and Suzuka.
Right.
So then that gives you 10 rounds if you're going to run, well, actually no, it's more than 10. Oran Park, Winton, Sandown, The Bend, Phillip Island, Bathurst, that's 6. The 5 Japanese tracks get you to 11, and then Bahrain gets you to 12. But not all those tracks suit it. You can't race at Winton, you can't race at Oran Park, you can't race at Tsukuba. They're not going to suit it that well, as we've had a Mustang go around, by the way, off the exit of pit lane. And I believe
we just had a Mercedes go around too.
We have. It's Michael Caffrey.
It was indeed
Michael Caffrey has gone around at turn 1. Oh, we both got the same camera on screen. That's great.
Technically, no. I've got the roll bar cam. You had the...
I also had the roll bar cam.
Oh. Well, then, fine.
My roll bar cam's just further across.
I'll put my gyro cam on. No. Well, it's not.
Oh.
It's actually not that great on the Mercedes. It's like the worst car for it.
Yeah. What is my gyro cam? Oh, my gyro cam is the dash.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. Things have kind of just settled out here all of a sudden. These pit stops really spread them out a little bit.
Settled.
I mean, it happens, but...
They're still waiting the GT4 cars to come into pit lane, by the way. Cole Malley is leading that race at this stage in time by 26 seconds, by the way, over Timothy Schaefer.
I mean, I would have thought he could have done better than that.
The way that it stands, with Matt Lass being a lap down on him, Cole Malley, if he wins this race, will leave Circuit Gilles Villeneuve a full race win ahead of the field in GT4s.
This is not the way I wanted to see Jacob Cotterman tonight for the first time.
Oh, no. He's lost that rear.
Oh.
And he's gone round. Oh, God.
Well, he got out of the way of that one. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Oh, he bounced it off the wall there.
He did bounce it off the wall, but he got it going again, which is good to see.
Yeah, I don't know that he suffered any damage really there, except for bouncing it off the
I don't
wall.
think he did. Well, except for his ego as well. His ego was probably damaged off the back of it too, but still, when we head back to live as well, so we've got Kyle Smith in pit lane. Jack Anderson's in pit lane now for his second stop of the race after having a tow back to pit lane earlier on after a spin at turn 2. So both of those guys are now entering pit lane for their stop. I suppose the beauty for Jack is he will be able to get home off this stop
For sure, 100%.
because he's going to get to 33 minutes, so he can get home.
And he can drive the wheels off of it because he'll have extra fuel. So
Can indeed. So the 369 Mustang, he's revving the absolute hell out of it. He knows I'm on him at this point. He must be watching. He's revving it as well, I think, to maybe just get rid of some of the fuel that's going on board, maybe. I don't know. But he wanted to be prepped and ready to exit pit lane as out he comes. So that car that spun early and has been through the wars already tonight exits pit lane, and he comes out just behind Jacob Cotterman. So seeing that Jacob spun before, that is the amount of time lost that Jacob had from that spin. He's come out right ahead of the Mustang of Anderson, and he's actually come out ahead of Lance Campbell, who we saw pit on lap 9, and we know that Campbell will need another stop in this race.
yes,
Because lap 9 is way too early to get home.
yeah, oh for sure, 100%. Yeah, and I feel bad for Lance Campbell too. Home race, man. You know, I don't see.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't see that he did anything wrong in that situation at all.
Well, best positioned Canadian driver at this stage, Francis Crosby, P11 on the road.
Yes.
Then it's Jamie MacArthur and James Lenneven, and then Lance Campbell. And we know the kind of wars that James has been involved in tonight. He's been in absolute strife. We've already lost, by the way, 5 drivers out of this race. Brian Lavrisa, Guilherme Oliveira, Chet Miller has not made it past lap 7. Brendan Bassina, Brandon Herzing didn't even make it past lap 1 of this race. As Rodrigo Dassai has just gotten past MacArthur and Lenneven, who are battling away for position back here, as Anderson looks to send it up the inside on Cotterman down at the final chicane, gets that job done. Great move. That's a slowdown for Jason Holland ahead of him as well, who had to cross the chicane. It's a massive slowdown too down there. That's a good 4-second slowdown.
Behind there, isn't it?
As Bigot is now chasing down Schmall. Now that's Lenneven who's in this. You've got Bigot on your screen.
Yeah, I know. I was
up
just
on the big end.
I saw what looked to be a white Mustang back there. I thought it was bigger back there.
By the way, Holland is still serving this slowdown, by the way. This is how long this slowdown is. It is 4 seconds.
Oh, my God.
And he's got to try and... He's running out of time. He's got to get this slowdown served. Anderson's going to come past. He only just got it served, by the way, before the braking zone of the 3rd chicane. So he somehow served it all the way through. But
And
Anderson is right on him. And Campbell's with him too. But Campbell does need to come through pit lane. He maintained position, got rid of the slowdown. Was so lucky not to get that black flag. But this fight continues.
I wish we had a timer on those penalties. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be a great plug-in.
That would be.
I don't know how we do that, though, because we'd have to pull from a personal driver's data as Anderson sends it down the inside at the chicane. Oh, sorry, at the hairpin, not the chicane.
Nice.
My God. At the hairpin, the back end gets that job done down the inside. And now Campbell wants to follow his fellow Mustang compadre down the straight again. We await Campbell. He should be coming into pit lane 9 laps after everybody else, because he last pitted on lap 9. He will need less fuel, but again, he's going to drop positions here. He's trying to get it up the inside of Holland in behind. He couldn't quite get the job done, and now he's susceptible to Jacob Cotterman if he's gotten the run off the chicane, which he hasn't. That's Harrison Holiday now with a slowdown too. So slowdowns are getting gifted out here like Christmas presents, Jim.
They are indeed.
And they're unwrapping them right before the second chicane.
This place is tough, man. This place has got some tough track limits, and you know, that big curb in that chicane, I promise you before this race is over, that curb will wreck somebody.
Oh, it will. It will wreck someone for sure.
I mean, it's just these curbs around here are nasty, you know. It's just a matter of time.
Absolutely nasty.
Man, I'll tell you what, Delgado is flying, man.
Well, Anderson started 22nd position. Oh, sorry, started 14th. He's currently in 22nd position, so he's down 8 positions in this race. Relatively speaking, not a horrible loss off a spin.
No, not all things considered. No, especially that he ended up towing from that too. That was, you know.
Now he is the last placed pro car currently still racing. Of course, the Libierta is the last placed pro car on the standings at this point in time, but again, he is out of the race here this evening. Front runners have all spread out at this point in time. The closest battle further up the field is David Steiner and Jed Cotterman, which are on board with on the upper screen at this point in time as well. So, and the other close battle we've currently got going on is Justin Cornett and Kyle
actually,
Smith.
Caffrey is behind as well. Oh, so
he's following him.
Yeah, this is kind of a little three-way battle here a little bit. They're not super tight. Yeah, they're not super tight on each other, but they're running strong.
They are fighting tooth and nail at this point in time.
Amongst the GT4 standings for a second too. We'll bring them up so people can see how that's all working out. Uh-oh. Kyle Smith had a little issue, it looks like. Oh, he's gone. He just jumped to the pits.
He's just towed back as Justin Cornett has spun round, by the way, after his battle. And this is what happened with him. So he's already crashed at this point in time, and it's happened between himself and Kyle Smith. Actually, we need to go even further back here to see how this has actually happened. And I do apologize. I was checking some info whilst this was happening. I missed it live as I was watching it. So Kyle was flashing him. And as he's come through, he's just completely missed the braking zone and gone straight into the barrier. And whilst he's done that, I think he's actually clipped Justin's car as he's come through here. Let's keep an eye on this. Let's watch if he hits him. Oh, it was very close. Well, he clipped the curb.
You know what I think?
And then he's gone off the road, but it was very close.
I think that was a bit of a distraction moment almost. Like you know what I mean?
Quite possibly could have been.
Cotterman is trying to make a move on Steiner here, but
must be said, Jim, filtering of the GT4 traffic a lot better tonight.
Yeah, it has been actually, but I think
a track that we stated was going to be hard for it, they've actually done a lot better. But they're filtering their own traffic a bit more difficult, a bit more difficult, it seems.
I don't know. Overall, I don't know that we've had any more incidents here than we've had at other places. We've had some egregious ones, but we certainly have had, our fair share of those throughout the season. But I don't know that we've had more incidents necessarily. At least it doesn't feel like it to me.
Oh, it doesn't feel like it.
If I'm being honest, given the nature of this course, I would say it's been probably at this point, I shouldn't probably say that, but better than I thought it was going to be.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I think based on the pool of information that we've had this season, based on how drivers have gone at tracks where ultimately traffic filtration should have been fine, i.e. Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
Right, it was atrocious.
To come in here in a very tight street circuit style permanent race course in Montreal, tonight should have been absolute fireworks and nuclear disaster, and ultimately it hasn't been, which is a step in the right direction and a step in the perfect direction that they can go in. And ultimately, if they can continue on this trend, especially across the next few weeks, because VIR is going to be incredibly tough for traffic filtration, It's
Yes.
tight. It's got a lot of runoff, but it's super tight.
But it's also
super
and it's
tough.
got undulation, elevation.
Undulation.
Yeah.
It's false confidence building. It is a ticking time bomb of possible disaster. Ultimately, at this track, which should have been the second hardest track on the whole calendar to deal with traffic, just behind Long Beach, it has not been that bad. It's been completely fine. I think we've had one incident between a GT3 and a GT4 car.
I'm just going to throw out the notice here that my guess is something's coming.
Why?
Folker has caught Delgado.
He has. I wonder if Delgado, though, it's fuel saving.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that Folker potentially thinks that he was served on the early in the race and is going to potentially give a little payback.
Well,
here.
the problem with that is, though, if he hands out a receipt, that's going to look very poorly on him.
Yeah, I'm not.
And that may
I would
lead
say
to the
I
hammer
would
being
say the
brought
way
down by
that
management.
Lance Campbell ended up looked pretty poorly on him too, but it didn't slow him down.
It didn't, but that may mean the hammer's going to come down on him if they think that there is any form of retaliation.
We'll see. Let's just see what happens.
We will see. We'll see what happens.
I'm throwing it out there. If he was truly driving with the red mist in his helmet, it ain't gone right now.
It's not gone right now, but what is happening at the moment is there's a tightening battle for P20 between Lance Campbell and Jack Anderson. Now, we know that Campbell needs a pit stop, so this battle is technically null and void, but ultimately it is going to give us some hot-on-track action as these guys are trying to traverse some traffic here. There is a slowdown further up the road for James Leneven, who's stuck on his lonesome at this point. He's got about 10.5 seconds back to Justin Bock, who's a further 1.5 seconds ahead of Ty Baxter. Then it's 5.5 seconds back to Campbell and Anderson. So the time could start to trickle down if they begin to get a wriggle on here. As Jacob Cotterman has gone off the road down at the end of the second DRS zone here. Actually, no, it's before. It's off the third chicane. He's lost it on his own. He's gotten loose.
Oh,
and then it's just gone round on him.
That was going to hurt a little bit. So the interesting thing that I'm curious about is, if Folker thinks that he was done wrong by Delgado early in the race, which again, our opinion is he was not. It was on him really, but that's assuming based on the way we've seen him driving. There was a bit of aggression. Like he's driving really aggressive right now. And I mean, 15 minutes to go in the race, you're this close to the leader. You're gonna do that, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm just curious. I just got a feeling.
I've got a feeling as well that it may be coming for something that could blow up in our faces, and that was how Cotterman eventually got going once again, by the way. So there's been a slowdown for Daniel Schmall, by the way, so he's now having to serve this. He's gotten this through turn 1 and turn 2. So we know that he can serve it by the third chicane, but it's whether he's going to actually serve it or not is another question, especially with Bigot right behind him. And he's got to try and serve it now with Bigot on his heels and traverse the traffic.
This right here is going to give it to him.
No, he's got a black flag. He hasn't served it in time. Drive-through penalty for Daniel Schmall for not serving a slowdown in time.
Oh, my goodness.
And that there is the struggle. That is literally the brink of serving a turn 1 slowdown, is you have to serve it by that third chicane. If you don't, you are going to get a black flag, and he's just gotten it right now.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he's going to be steaming over that.
Well, the beauty is he has 20 seconds back to Zach Houston. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I was looking at the pro standings.
No.
He has 8.5 seconds back to Zach Houston. Then it's 13 seconds, 14 seconds back to Stephen Smith. He's going to drop at least 3 positions here. Michael Anderson is going to be the brink of will he drop to P7 or not. But he's definitely going to drop out of the top 5. He's kept going, though. He's going to push this now, probably out to its sheer limits, Jim, of 3 laps.
Yeah, I would.
So he's got to serve it. So he hasn't served it on this lap. He probably won't serve it on this current lap either. He has to serve it at the end of the next lap. If he doesn't serve it, he'll get disqualified by iRacing, and he'll be knocked out of the race completely. Well, you say that, Jim. I've seen faster drivers not realise they have to serve a black flag, and then they've been disqualified. Oh, and he's just gone off as well, down at the chicane.
Oh.
It's gone from bad to worse for Daniel
Oh,
Schmall.
and he towed too.
This will be race over.
Yeah, that's
This will be race over for Daniel
He'll
Schmall.
probably, right now, he'll probably just park it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think he'll just park at this point, knowing that even when he comes out, he's got to then come back around.
Right, serve it.
Drive through pit lane.
I mean, the only... No, it's... Oh, he's gone. He did. He quit.
Now, then that then begs the question, Jim. He's not served a black flag.
Hold on, I'm sorry. We got a...
Delgado and... Yeah, no, Delgado and Fulker are battling here for the race lead.
I mean, they were side by side right there when I cut back to them.
Well, this also now begs the question, Jim, as they continue along down towards the Wall of Champions. He hasn't served a black flag. Should there be a post-race penalty for that, for not serving a black?
Yeah, 40 seconds.
Yeah, add 40 seconds to his time.
Right, well, that's true, I guess. Oh, man, Jake Cotterman crashed again.
It's not really going to do much to him because he is ultimately at the back of the field now.
Right.
But, you know, that then adds the question, should there be a post-race penalty for not serving a black flag?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't just because you quit because you got to, I mean, you know. No, yeah, of course. You still got to serve it. I mean, or pay the penalty. By the way,
Jake Cotterman is out of this race, by the way. He has left the server, so...
Yeah, well, and so I was going to talk about that earlier, and we got sidetracked here with some other stuff, but oh my God,
he's
Fulker's crushed another car.
He's just killed a GT4 car and the race leader.
Oh,
in Delgado. God. That was a really messy moment.
Oh, I was on car.
Really messy.
I'm gonna pull it up because I want to see this on the big screen. So
this was with Herschel Lawrence.
Yeah,
and Delgado's trying to filter past the traffic. Now, we often say, hold your line. Right, you know, the faster cars can come past you. You've got the race leader behind you, and you're going for the racing line as he's trying to go for the outside. Really messy. Ultimately, crescendoed by Fulker going straight into the back of that McLaren. Just a really messy moment right there.
So I need to...
Well, he squeezed him onto the grass.
I'm trying to process what I just saw before I open my mouth.
Okay, all right. Well, it's okay. So let's break it down. Okay, so Delgado is wanting to go around the outside of the GT4.
Right. And the GT4 moved out of the way when he saw that Fulker had committed to the outside.
No. So Delgado's committed to the outside, right? So he's committed to going around the GT4
right, that's what I meant, Delgado.
It's what we always recommend is GT3s can go around the outside of GT4s.
Yes.
So for a GT4, just hold your line, run the inside, they can go around you. So Delgado's doing the right thing, by the way, as Jack Anderson has just had an incident, by the way, and he's gone round off of that fourth chicane. We'll quickly show a replay of this. As it looks to be on his own. As he's run wide.
That's right, exactly where Cotterman put it in the wall, too. Jacob.
I'll tell you what, he didn't put it in the wall, but he did spin it round. So, Delgado's done the right thing, trying to go around the outside.
All right, hold on.
Unfortunately for Herschel Lawrence, as we're just on replay on the top end, so we'll try and find this incident for you again so we can talk through it.
I got it right here.
So, Herschel...
slow it down a little bit here and...
So Herschel has made the very untimely and crucial mistake of panicking when he's had the race leader behind him, trying to move out of the way into a very difficult part of the track that you are deciding to move out of the way. So there's a few things here, right, that Herschel can do better in future in this moment, okay? Because I think ultimately, yes, Herschel's had a part to play in this, but he's not the reason this crash has happened. So in future for Herschel, if he watches this back and he listens, do not move out of the way.
Well,
just hold your line, Herschel.
He didn't move out of the way. Technically, he was
trying.
No, but he was turning in for the apex of the corner. Look,
no, he wasn't. He's moving to the outside.
Watch. He's okay. So right there, he realizes, oh, the race leader's going outside of me. So he's just turning in for the apex of the corner.
No, that's right. No, that's right. That's right. He's realized the race leader's on his outside.
So
and he's trying to aim for the corner.
He just turned into the apex and going to let the leader go around the outside of him.
So the point I'm going to make here is, Jim, for Herschel, if you don't already, because I think that something that actually would have saved this from possibly blowing up like this is run your relative and watch your relative. Nathan Biggett! Nathan Biggett has just gone round, by the way, at the second chicane. Right in front of Delgado. He's just spun it on his own. So Delgado now comes back past. And he's just at the fast lap of the race, by the way, last time by 133.75. So he's on the move now. He's pushing to chase down Fulker. So the point that I'm making is, for Herschel, if you're not running it already, I don't know if he can. We'll see. For Herschel, run your relative, Herschel, and watch your relative. Because if he'd been watching his relative, Jim, he would have known a corner before that the race leaders were chasing him down and they were coming up on him.
Man, I got a problem hanging that on the GT4 driver.
I'm not hanging it on him at all. I'm not.
But you are. You're telling him that he needs to run his relative.
I'm breaking down the different points of this incident, right?
What
so the first point is Delgado's trying to get around the outside.
Like just completely slow up and let him go down by him on the straightaway before they got to the turn?
Okay. So what he could have done differently is, right, he knows the race leader's coming up on him. So he could have stayed to one side of the track, right, and just hugged the inside. So he could have just stayed to the left and hugged the inside of the chicane. The GT3 can come around his outside.
But that's off the racing line. We tell them never to get off the racing line. That would have been off the racing line. He stayed on the racing line, and
he did.
And Delgado chose to go on the outside of him.
He did.
And then he chose to go ahead and turn in a little bit early on the apex to give Delgado some room, since Delgado was committed to the outside.
But then Fulker has decided, I'm going to try and sneak up the inside and make this 3 wide, and that's where the problem is.
3 wide in a freaking turn like that?
Yes, that's where the problem is. He's tried to make it 3 wide and go up the inside of a GT4 car when the GT4 car is just aimed for the corner, and he's drilled the back of him and he's taken both of them out.
I mean,
So the point I'm making is, I'm not putting the blame on the GT4 driver. I'm not at all. Right? Okay. I think unfortunately, Herschel was just in the wrong place, wrong time.
Yes, but I don't see where he did anything wrong.
So I think because Delgado's gone for his outside, he maybe just wasn't aware of how close they were, and then he's panicked and he's realized that they're so close. The reason I'm saying he should be checking his relative is just so he's further aware that they're actually coming and they're going to be onto him at some point.
I mean,
the other points that I want to make is for Delgado, did he need to go around the outside of him? No.
Okay. If you're going to argue, Delgado probably should not have sent it around the outside, especially with as wide as the GT4 car was. The GT4 car was leaving the inside wide open, which ultimately is why Fulker decided to send it. But the reality was that was a horrible decision it was a bad decision on Delgado's part to try to go around the narrow gap on the outside, because he was going to have to put 2 wheels off the track to make that work. That's bad. And then Fulker deciding that, I see the race leaders in a bit of trouble here. Let me just send it up here on the inside. And, I mean, if you were race control, who would you issue a penalty to there?
You'd have to give it to Fulker because he's drilled the GT4 car.
Absolutely. Okay.
So for a penalty-wise, it has to go to Fulker.
Right.
Because ultimately Fulker's caused the incident. For a racecraft decision-making wise, and Delgado's got some of the best racecraft in the field.
Yes, but that was a bad decision.
Delgado needs to... Fulker's just got to slow down, by the way, at the Wall of Champions chicane, so this gap's about to shrink even more. It was already down to 2.5 seconds.
He was closing
it's about to be down to about a second.
Yeah,
he was closing him up, so Delgado is right there. So battle for the race lead's about to be on for the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Now, let's see if Fulker does the right thing here.
Well, would you, if you were him?
Yeah, I would. I would. I
think he is. He's brilliant pass.
He did.
Redressing him. So Fulker does the right thing.
Now that's fair enough. Now go. Battle.
That's fair enough. Now go. Battle. You've let him go. Now you can battle.
Good on him.
Doesn't matter what happens from here out. He's done the right thing.
We've been critical. We have been critical of
So
him.
if you're in Delgado's position, you've got a GT4 car ahead of you right now, and you're battling for position. What do?
You don't go to the outside. The GT4 is wrecked.
Loses it on his own, and he comes past. So there's now a null and void issue.
Yeah.
But Delgado and Fulker have now both got to slow down. So now they've got to serve this up towards the wall of champions as Fulker tries to go around the outside. Can he get this done? No, he can't.
So who was that spun?
That was Aiden Kiley who spun in the GT4 car.
Man.
So for the points going forward for Delgado, who has some of the best racecraft in the field,
yes,
maybe don't try and go around the outside of a GT4 car at the next corner.
If I'm being honest, okay, I think he was feeling the heat, man, because Fulker was on his ass, and I think he was feeling that. And by the way, go to Jed Cotterman's battle back there. It's getting hot and heavy, but I'm going to stay on these leaders up here. But good on Fulker. Look, I've criticized him a couple of times. He gave the spot
back.
And we
criticized him earlier.
And now we
criticized him earlier.
Yep.
But he's given it back.
Absolutely.
And fair play to him.
Yep.
Fair play. He handed the position back. He did the right thing.
Yep.
The gentlemanly thing, if you will.
Yeah. He didn't make him fight for it. He gave it to him, and now he's going to go back and battle him. And that's fair.
Jed's had to come into pit lane.
Oh.
So Cotterman's into pit lane here, so he hasn't fuel saved enough to get this car home. And now he's had to come in.
He's got a black flag.
Oh my God! He didn't serve a slowdown.
It's probably a pit.
Served a slowdown.
No, it's a pit.
No, it's a drive-through. And it's a drive-through. He's got a drive-through.
Oh, he's driving through. Oh my God.
So it's not an incident
it's not an incident limit, huh?
The slowdown.
Could
well,
be
incident limit would be a drive-through.
All right, well.
And a slowdown would be a drive-through as well.
I don't guess. I'm going to do something stupid here. I just want to see something. I don't think it's going to do that. No. Okay. I was going to see if it would show me the incident points where we were at currently in the race, but it won't.
No, because it only shows off tracks. It doesn't show incident points.
So to tell you how well Cole Malley's doing, he's actually worked his way onto the overall leaderboard. He's at 25th now overall.
He is 40. He's 39.5 seconds ahead of Tim Schaefer. Cole Malley.
We never see a GT4 car on the overall.
Cole Malley,
like ever.
Cole Malley is about to go 7 from 7 and remain invincible this season in the GT4 class.
I mean, and it's no secret. It's no secret that we like Cole. Obviously, he's played along with a lot of our stuff and all that.
That's right.
But you know what? I'm rooting for him just because I think that's cool as shit.
Yeah. If he can go invincible this season,
I thought they were going to do it again.
Oh, they nearly did. And the term invincible, for those that don't know, harkens back to the Invincibles Arsenal team of 2003 to 2004, where they won every single game, or won or drew every single game. They didn't lose a game for, I think it was like a season and a half. Right. They went like a full year and a bit without losing a game. Miami Dolphins is the same. For Australian viewers out there. Yep, for viewers out there from Australia, the 2000 Essendon Bombers went invincible. They didn't lose a game in the year 2000, went on to win the premiership. So
New England Patriots almost.
Yep, almost did. Resist. New England Patriots almost did. But that's where the term invincibles comes from, of it's a team in world sports who does not lose a game. They can draw or they can win, but if they don't lose a game, they are considered invincible. That's what this is for Cole Malley. Now, he can't draw a race win, obviously, so he can either win or he can lose. So if he wins every single race, he goes invincible this season. The other way he would go Grand Slam invincible. Who was that just went off? Oh, well, we just had the checkered flag. Ricardo Delgado. Sorry, we've been on an absolute tangent. We didn't even realize we were on the final lap. Ricardo Delgado's taking the race win. We apologize.
That was so
Zach
terrible.
Houston, by the way. It was
so terrible.
Zach Houston has won it for the Pro-Ams. Jed Cotterman has won it for the amateurs here tonight. And for Cole Malley, we just spoke about him, is about to come across the line and take home a GT4 win once again this season. A 7th win this season for Malley. Jed Cotterman will take home the AM win. We do apologise. We need to get better at that, Jim. We are really dropping the ball on
That was
these race.
bad. That was bad.
On these race finishes, that was our worst one for sure. We
I
humbly apologize.
I mean, I was just hanging on.
Well,
a
Fulker's put it in the wall.
little punt there. I just sent him on through.
Oh, he sent him into the escape road.
He
You know,
did, indeed.
a little burnout
Are they going to
section.
help him out? They're going to help you out. You can get him through. Okay, so yeah, that was bad. I was literally. I mean, we were talking about Invincible, but the reason I wasn't looking is because I was hung up on the battle with Fulker and attempting to battle with Delgado after he gave him the spot back and all of that. So we still got a few more guys to finish here, but
yeah. Jack Anderson, by the way, was in the chat with us. He didn't finish this race, unfortunately, but he was saying he's going good considering he had to tow lap one, got up to 16th, but had to fight the car every lap on exits, and the American Stallion eventually bucked him. So that's why Anderson was out. It's unfortunate, Jack. You're doing very well and a great recovery. He also pokes about the fact that ever since the year 2000, well, it's been since 2004, the Essendon Bombers have not won a final in the AFL Premiership, Jim. You know how many days that is that they've not won a final? And it is the longest drought in history, by the way, that a team has ever gone without winning a final. It is 7,000. Hang on, I can tell you exactly the number. It's like 7,600 days or something like that.
Well, can I be honest and say that I have no idea what sport you're even talking about?
It's for AFL. Essendon have not won a final in the AFL, Australian Football League.
Oh.
That's the Australian Football League, Jim.
I haven't watched the Australian Football League since ESPN's early days.
Jim, fourth largest league by domestic average attendance. They average 100,000, or they average like 70,000 people per game.
I mean, that's cool. I just don't know who they are.
In person. That's fine.
All right.
But they've not won a final in 7,844 days, 20 hours, 23 minutes, and 5 seconds and counting.
Oh, there you go. There must be a countdown somewhere for that?
There is a live ticker. Right. They've made a live ticker for it. All right,
let's do them by class. Let's do them by class. Here.
So Jed Cotterman did hit the incident limit, by the way. He went 17x.
That was what it was.
So for the GT4 finishing order, Cole Malley has won by 38.2 seconds. We'll drag him in for a quick chat as well. We'll go via we'll go that way. We'll go via the results as we go along. Okay. So we'll chat some as we go along. I think that'll be the quickest way to do it here tonight. Cole, welcome in.
Then I can't show
Mr.
highlights.
Invincible, 7 from 7. We can show some highlights afterwards, Jim. That's fine. Or we could show highlights of Cole's race right now.
Well, I guess I could do that. Take this graphic down.
Well, Mr. Malley, you now lead the GT4 championship by a full race win. Congratulations. 7 from 7. Mr. Invincible. Have you had pole every single race as well?
I have been fortunate enough to take pole every race thus far.
Oh my God, Jim, he's going ultimate invincible.
Yeah. Have you had fastest lap in GT4s too?
I feel uncomfortable saying this, but yes.
he's going for Grand Slam invincible. My God,
that's okay.
Well,
look. We're asking the question. It's not like you're coming here going, "Hey, I got this and I got that, and so be it." And what it's not that. So I wouldn't, just answer the questions. That's all you got to do. Answer the questions.
Well, Cole, obviously another great win for you tonight. 40 seconds was the gap at the end back to Tim Schafer. We mentioned that, relatively speaking, the traffic filtration from the GT3 cars with the GT4s was actually going quite well. Then we had a very unfortunate moment between Herschel Lawrence and the GT3 leaders at one point, but that's a different story for a different day. How did you find the traffic management, though, as the race leader for the GT4 cars? Did you find it was better this evening than it has previously?
Yeah, I do think so. And I think part of that was due to the track layout. There were a lot of good long straights off of slow corners where the GT3s could just accelerate very easily and get past us without too much issue.
Well, we mentioned that this was going to be one of the hardest circuits to really get into good traffic filtration. But I think that's maybe one thing we overlooked was the fact that there are good, obviously, overtaking opportunities off of corner on the GT4 cars, but we didn't really see many drivers trying to go on the into corners trying to get past GT4s. It showed that there was maybe a little bit more patience about them. Next week at VIR, it may be a similar scenario, but with less opportunity than what there is here at Gilles Villeneuve. Are you hopeful that this can now continue into the next few rounds? Because obviously Watkins Glen next week, VIR the week after. Some fairly decent circuits for traffic filtration. Hopefully it can continue this way forward. Are you hoping it can kind of continue along this trend? Because obviously that would help you, trying to go invincible this season as a race winner. But just in general, for your fellow GT4 drivers out there, are you hoping that it can remain true?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think part of this is it's a two-part game. We're learning how to drive around each other, and we're also getting to the point in the season where we're driving tracks that people are very, very familiar with. People have done this in multi-class, people have done this in single class. So the consistency, the comfort, all of that's coming together.
You find Gilles Villeneuve as a track that a lot of people in this league knew already well?
Well, if the qualifying is any indication, we had a lot of people within about a second of the pole position, and no one was under 2. I don't think. I could be wrong, but either way,
Well, I
the
think that's a
GT4
product
class at least.
of the long straightaways and stuff. But I would argue, and I may be wrong, but just an opinion. I would argue that this is not at all one of the most better known circuits.
It is normally on the calendar for the officials for the GTs.
I mean, I don't know. I just think what like I don't know. I don't think of this as a popular, a well-known circuit. I think of
I don't think I don't think of it as a sports car circuit. I think of it as a Formula One circuit, but that's because Formula One's been coming here a lot longer than what sports car racing has. I mean, as we said in the pre-roll, Jim, the only sports car racing that really happens here on a grand scale is the Porsche Cup. That races during the Formula One Grand Prix weekend.
Yeah, and then they do some of that Ferrari 296 stuff, I think, too.
Yeah, the 296. I love Ferrari Challenge. It's great. That's a different tangent for a different day, though. But Cole, I mean, sports car racing here would be great, surely. To see more sports car racing at this track would be a great time.
Oh, absolutely. I love the chicanes. I love the long sweeping turns. It gives you a lot of flexibility, gives you some really interesting angles for racing and passing and so on. And I do think it was on the official schedule about 4 weeks ago. So hopefully that was helpful for this race.
Yeah, that arguably could have been.
Yeah, arguably could have been one of the more helpful features that this track obviously was within the officials. It's normally on the officials quite often for series like this. So, but Cole, we appreciate you coming over chat to us. Congratulations on your 7th win of the season, 7th pole position, and 7th fastest lap of the race as well. Is there anyone out there that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
As always, you guys, Jed for hosting the league, my wife for letting me do this, and the GT4s and GT3s. It's a really great time. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Cole. Best of luck next week out at Watkins Glen. We look forward to seeing if you can go 8 from 8 on the Triple Crown this season.
Right. I appreciate it, gentlemen. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, you too.
He's way too humble for himself, but
I know. Next up, we have got our amateur winner here tonight. Drive through and all through incident points. It is Mr. Jed Cotterman. Jed, welcome in. Amateur win once again for yourself, even with a drive through here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And the one thing I want to mention too, we mentioned it to Cole as well. It seemed that the traffic filtration was a fair bit better tonight on a grand scale in terms of, GT3 cars being able to work their way past GT4s. How was it for you, though, out there? Obviously battling away for a top 10 finish that still came about, even with that drive-through. How was it for you, though, dealing with, obviously, GT3 traffic and then working your way through GT4 traffic? There were a couple of moments where things happened, but ultimately, on the grand scale, it seemed pretty good.
I agree. I was really worried, actually, at the start of this race. I was thinking it was just going to be complete chaos, and it still might be when I go back and watch the broadcast. But I think as far as managing the traffic and the slower cars, I think it was actually really well. The straightaways helped tremendously, and the chicanes, I think, kind of slowed everybody down to where we could accelerate out of those which made it a little easier too. So I think for what we do in the multi-class here, I actually think the track was pretty good.
Now, we were discussing earlier on in the broadcast, possibility of more themed calendars going forward. Now, we're within 5 rounds at the end of this season. Are we looking at another themed calendar for next season as well, possibly a European-based calendar for next season?
That is exactly correct. So this is America's tour. Next season is a European tour. And I don't really like Suzuki and Fuji and some of those other tracks. Whatever.
Well, if we wait long enough, Jed, we will get Bahrain, which could go on an Asian-Australian tour.
Hey, Jed,
season.
just so you know that there's other people that drive in this league too that might actually like Suzuki.
No, I know.
Considering it's been on racing games since I was a kid.
And the fact that last year the Suzuka 1,000-kilometer ran and this year the Fuji 1,000-kilometer is running as well,
So you absolutely need to do an Australia Asian.
Well, I have Bathurst in next season.
That's not European.
That's not European.
I know. But it's going to get revamped. I mean, like Mexico wasn't my choice. This track wasn't my choice. So I am.
Interlagos wasn't your choice either.
Oh, I love Interlagos.
Yeah, but who put that on the calendar? Me.
Yeah.
Because I told you it's South America. It's still the Americas.
Well, I would say if we go Asian Australian for the 3rd season of iRacing this year, there are definite tracks that should not be on there, Jed.
Yes.
I.e.
Well, let's do it.
Oran Park,
we'll do that off
and
camera.
A couple others. There's definitely something that shouldn't be on there.
Yes.
But
I think the only one that is I think Snetterton maybe. I don't know. And
for
then,
Europe.
Alton Park definitely. I really like Alton.
So I would say for Europe.
Oh, you gotta have Silverstone.
I mean, no. Well, I think for Europe, you've got so many different track choices. Europe, I feel like you need to have Portimao. You need to have the Nürburgring, whether it's the full Nordschleife or it's the Grand Prix WEC layout.
Yes.
The Hockenheimring, Spa. As much as I have a disdain, as much as I have a disdain for broadcasting Le Mans, you kind of can't have Le Mans when it's sports car racing. As much as I hate it for broadcasting,
yes, I agree.
You kind of have to.
I mean, I think that the 90 minutes, if we did the 90-minute race at Le Mans,
I think the 90-minute is at Spa and Le Mans.
Yeah, they would be the two that would make most sense to be 90-minute races. And then you've got other great tracks out there that you could put on there, whether it's Barcelona, Navarra, Jerez. You could do Red Bull Ring if you really wanted to.
Red Bull Ring.
Red Bull Ring for sure.
English circuits. Thank you.
Oh, Donington Park.
English circuits. Your 3 best choices for English circuits is Alton Park, Donington Park, or Silverstone.
I would pick Donington over. I would personally pick Donington over Silverstone, but that's just
I would also pick Donington Park over Silverstone.
But anyway, let's do this conversation off air because I got another broadcast to do.
There's so many exciting tracks we could pick. But Jed, a fantastic run for yourself tonight. Again, as a whole scale, it looked to be that the traffic filtration was a lot better this evening. Still some things obviously that would need to be worked out, but again, that's conversations for elsewhere. But Watkins Glen next week, that's going to be a great race, I think.
Yeah, that'll be really, really good.
I think no excuses for track filtration at Watkins Glen, really. It's a track that everyone should be running at, and they should know well, and they should know traffic well, but we will see how well it goes. But we appreciate you coming to have a chat to us. Is there anyone you want to give a shout-out to before we let you go?
It's the same. And you guys, I absolutely love going back and watching the broadcast. They're fantastic. You guys do such an excellent job. The guys in the league, there is no league without its drivers. And I think everyone is starting to hear me when I talk in the drivers' meetings instead of just listening. I do see a lot of improvement, and it takes everybody to have a successful race and have it to where it continues to be fun and exciting and close racing, and that's respectful and clean. So just a shout out to all the guys in the league, and Yeah, that's it. It's unfortunate. Jacob's going through a little slump here. He's getting a little discouraged. I got to bring him up a little bit, but he's really strong at the last 4 tracks. So we'll see what happens with him.
Maybe if GT4 remains to next season, maybe Jacob could run in GT4 next season and see what happens there.
No, he needs to stay right where he's at. He needs to stay right where he's at, and he needs to work on slowing down to be fast.
That's exactly what I tell him.
Yep. That's all he needs to do. He's overdriving the car and he's causing himself incidents. He's plenty fast enough. Slow down. He'll be fast and he'll start getting finishes out of it, and then his confidence will come back. It's a simple recipe. He's just got to be able to get it into his head and execute it. But yeah, he doesn't need to go anywhere. He needs to stay right where he's at next season as Dad moves up to the red badge next to his name.
Yeah.
And
I think
Jacob can stay right where he's at and do his chance and take a shot at trying to win a championship against Cole when Cole moves up. Although Cole might need to move up higher than Ams, but we'll see.
We'll see. He told me he wants to run the Lambo, and I tried to talk him out of it. So
there's a lot of time between
we'll
now
see.
and then. Who knows?
Yeah.
So you never know. It got BOP'd pretty good actually. So. But anyway, let's move on. I got another broadcast to do here shortly, and I got some soup waiting on me.
All right. Well, have a great night. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Jed. Next up, we have got our pro-am winner here this evening in Zach Houston. Oh, he's chatting away. Jed was chatting away with him. Next up, we have Zach Houston, our race winner for the pro-am class tonight. Zach, welcome in. Race win for the GT3 Pro-Am class this evening. Congratulations on that win here tonight. How's it feel to get it solidified for yourself and to take home some solid points amongst this Pro-Am field?
I'm glad I made it through that in one piece. That was that was fun. Tough.
I mean, you made it through the chaos that is Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Obviously, some tests out there for sure tonight, but and we mentioned obviously traffic filtration wasn't too bad ultimately for the GT3s to GT4 cars, but a circuit that we don't really associate with sports car racing seemed to create some great driving out there. How were your battles on track?
I thought it was good. It's a little bit narrow of a track, but there is room to make moves. There is room to get up the inside on people and have good racing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It'd be nice to have a slightest bit more downforce in the sports car, but can't have everything.
No, that's right. But I mean, you've been running quite cleanly and well this season in amongst this Pro-Am class of drivers. Obviously solid top 10s all throughout this season as well on an overall scale. 5 rounds to go, some tough tracks to come still. We go racing, obviously, at Watkins Glen, VIR, Road Atlanta, Daytona, and Sebring. Which one are you looking forward to most across these next 5 rounds?
Daytona, by far. Love Daytona. One of my favorite tracks.
A man after my own heart. I'm also a massive fan of Daytona as well. But, Zach, we appreciate you coming and have a chat to us. We wish you the best of luck at Watkins Glen next week as well, and congratulate you on your race win. Is there anyone you want to give a shout-out to before we let you go this evening?
A shout out to the Back Point Racing guys. It's been nice racing with them. They're helping me get faster each week, and it's nice to beat them when I can.
We appreciate your time, Zach. Best of luck at Watkins Glen in a week's time, and we'll see if we're chatting to you once again after that one.
Thanks, guys.
No worries. Thanks so much. Next up, we have got our race winner here this evening through, well, not controversy of his own, but in and amongst some controversy in this race, but ultimately through a fantastic drive, Ricardo Delgado. Ricardo, welcome in. Congratulations on the race win. The main issue, the main incident I want to talk to you about, Ricardo, I think you know which one it is. It was where you went to go around the outside of the GT4. As he was coming across, you were trying to go around the outside. You guys were going side by side, and then Derek comes in and punts the GT4 car, and it catches you out. Eventually, Derek gave you the position back for the race lead, and you took home the race win. How was it from your perspective on board as the race leader at the time, trying to filter through some of that traffic?
Most of the traffic I managed to get by just on that incident, but I mean, we were really close, and GT4 was just in the middle of the track. It could happen to any of us.
Yeah. Well, we also obviously there was an incident earlier as well where Derek's tried to come past you at turn 1. You've maintained overlap into 2, gave him a little knock. At that point, did you think, should I wait up and let him pass, or was it just keep going? He's come across my nose, and I'm just going to keep pushing on and see if he comes back up to me.
Yeah, I thought about it, but when he went for the pass, I mean, it's a tight corner, and it's a tight spot because he didn't clear me completely on the pass. So I felt that I was entitled to the space, but when he went for the second turn, I was out of room, so I can barely do anything.
But yeah, that was kind of the perspective that we had. It was, well, where are you going to go? Are you going to go across the grass and give him the apex? And it's not like you can really go there. So, but a great race for you though. A couple of ups and downs, but ultimately you had fantastic pace out there once again. Watkins Glen next week. Are you feeling confident you can carry this similar level of pace into that one, as we're just seeing a replay of that incident now with the GT4 car down at the third chicane? Are you feeling like you can take some of that pace into Watkins next week as well?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the new curbs at Glen are really aggressive. The Corvette doesn't like them, so we'll give a go.
Well, Ricardo, we appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming over chat to us as well. Are you able just to give us a quick rundown of the race in Spanish for us out there, for any of our Spanish viewers that might be watching?
Sure. Tuvimos una buena carrera desde Paul, manejando el tráfico toda la carrera, varios contactos con el segundo lugar, pero todo para mí fueron racing incidents y se manejó bien el tráfico y pudimos recuperar con buen paso al final la victoria.
Well, thank you so much, Ricardo. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Sure. Thanks to you guys, like always, for the job you do for us, and Sim Racing PR, which is the team that I race for in Puerto Rico. And just follow us. Also stream the races on YouTube. You can check it out from my perspective when I'm racing with you guys.
Thank you so much, Ricardo. Best of luck next week out at Watkins Glen. Ricardo Delgado, our race winner here this evening on the overall and in the Pro Class 2. Congratulations. Well, Jim, that'll bring us to an end tonight out at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. A great race, ultimately, from front to back. Some fantastic battling out there. Gilles Villeneuve continues to impress me as one of my favourite tracks in the world, and the sort of battling that it can bring to us. A little bit of controversy and chaos tonight as well, which we've become accustomed to this season. But
I mean, there's a part of there's a bit of that makes the broadcasting more exciting. So
exactly.
I'm not
if we didn't
opposed.
have that,
yeah,
if we didn't have that, it would be driving around for 60 minutes with cars just sitting in behind each other, not doing anything. So.
Yep. So I mean, I feel like tonight's race was, a lot cleaner and better than I thought it was going to be, and overall, just a better race in general than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I have to say I was I'm leaving here impressed for sure.
I am as well, and I'm really impressed by the improvement of the field in terms of their traffic filtration, as we've spoken about at nauseum here tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing how they go at Watkins Glen next week. Again, no real excuse not to next week. Watkins Glen's a track they should have plenty of laps at, Jim. It's very easy to filter traffic there.
Yeah. Well, I think that everybody did real quick. I think that everybody did touch on the fact that these straightaways and accelerating out of these chicanes and stuff. I think the track lent itself well to that. I would potentially argue that maybe Watkins Glen doesn't lend itself as well to that, but that's. Again, I guess what I'm saying is I'm waiting to see if we are seeing an improvement in driving standards or if this track kind of generated that improvement over, just for this one solo incident, so we'll see. I'm hopefully optimistic.
Well, we appreciate everyone joining us here tonight once again, and appreciate everyone joining us once again here on Motormouth Broadcasting as well. If you want to continue to support the channel by watching along with us, well, then hit the like button and subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing right here on the channel. Coming up for you guys tomorrow night, Thursday evening, we've got a double header of Truck Series action. Oak House Racing Truck Series and Maximum Velocity Racing League Truck Series returns once again as we go racing tomorrow evening. Myself, Jim, and Wesley will be in the booth for the MVRL race, and I believe it'll be Dean, and Ewan in for Oakhouse, if that's correct, Jim?
Yep.
Yes. So you guys can get a cornucopia of World Tour of English-speaking commentators. You can get your English and your Australian in one, and then you can get your Australian, your redneck, and your nice Southern college football.
Yeah, I thought you were going to call me a Southern gentleman for a second. I thought I was going to have to start going around. Belvedere, come here, boy.
Ultimately, Jim, you are the Cajun redneck of our little trio that we have going.
Indeed, I am.
On Friday night, but on Thursday night for everyone out there. But no, we appreciate everybody's time. Appreciate it as well. Go out to our stream sponsors as well. Of course, the Roasted Record have come aboard as the title sponsor for the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship. You can order online, get yourself some tunes and some brews, send straight to your door. Use code SIM20 to get yourself a healthy little discount on those orders as well. You can also go visit them in person down in Florida too, and check out some of the stuff they got going down there. As well to DRE Digital Race Engineer and to Track Camps for Gourmets as well. We appreciate their support, continued support. They've been around ever since the start of Motormouth Broadcasting. They continue to help us onto your screens every single week as well. But I'm Hamish Runno with Jim Cunningham alongside. This has been the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship, brought to you by the Roasted Record right here on Motormouth Broadcasting for round 7, season 4 this evening out at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We'll see you guys next week when we head out to Watkins Glen International Raceway. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.